All right, dude. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty leaks online at $35. I'm guessing that's US. I'm not going to have a popular take on this. I don't really care. I'll read this and then we'll talk about it. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty DLC is leaked online ahead of today's speculated Summer Game Fest announcement. According to GOG, the Phantom Liberty DLC will cost 30 euros, which is equivalent to 30 pounds or around $35 US. Despite the listing only being up for a short while, pictures of the DLC have already begun circulating via Reddit. Unfortunately, though, the leaked listing did not contain any details on what the expansion entails or when it will release. cdprojectred will be at today's Summer Game Fest, though. It's widely believed the DLC will make an appearance. Previous rumors have suggested the Phantom Liberty DLC could be released as soon as August. In terms of what platforms the upcoming Cyberpunk expansion will release on, CD Projekt Red is only planning for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X versions. Yeah, I've got a video out there on our YouTube channel talking about how I think that's kind of gross. And this is why. I'll just TLDR this. When they announced this DLC, along with the announcement of the DLC, the main producers and directors behind this project for CD Projekt Red were stating that now people will be able to experience Cyberpunk the way it was always meant to be experienced. So, along with that quote from them, those statements from them, they announced that they were only going to be releasing this DLC for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X versions of the game, where so many people bought this game on PS4 and Xbox One, right? And so, yes, don't get me wrong. CD Projekt Red is willing to, they will give anybody an upgrade, a free upgrade of the game from a previous gen console to a new gen console version. But not everybody has the money to just buy a new gen console, man. Yeah? And you released this game on all those consoles. You released this game on all those platforms. And then you're going to release a statement like that stating that now the game is going to be what it was always supposed to be experienced like, but only the people that have new gen consoles and PC will be able to experience it. That's disgusting to me. I think that's gross, and it's one of the biggest things of recent, aside from the absolutely nightmarish release of this game, that has really made me get to where I will never, not never, I will not buy a CD Projekt Red game on release or pre-order for the foreseeable future. There's no flipping way. So I'll continue. I'll move on here, and I'll express my. I've got some more sentiments to talk about the price of this DLC too. Earlier this week, new details on the Cyberpunk sequel, codenamed Orion, were released. Per the report, it will be developed in the U.S. with a team of 350 to 500 developers, while the Polish team will assist in some areas. Team of developers currently working on Phantom Liberty will move over to the next game after their work is completed. That said, some of those developers will move on to work on the Witcher franchise instead. So this is what I'm going to say. So again, I want to go back to this paragraph. And according to GOG, the Phantom Liberty DLC will cost 30 euros, equivalent to 30 pounds, or around $35 US. This is not going to be a popular take, and I don't really give a crap, dude. This is one of the best examples of a terrible release in modern gaming history. One of the best examples of a company releasing a product that was so absolutely far from finished that they had to start pulling it back off the shelves. There were so many people that got cheated out of their money by this company and this game. And what's the grossest part about it is how heavily they promoted it and marketed this game. They made so many people buy into the hype. They made so many people buy into the hype and then released this game knowing it was not even remotely close to ready to be played. They knew what they were doing. And that is why I am so opposed to supporting CDPR right now. Again, I know there are going to be a lot of people that have different takes on this that won't agree with me. That's okay. You don't have to agree with me. We can agree to disagree. That's fine. But there are going to be a lot of people that go, well, they stood by it and they turned it into something decent. Cool. I'm glad they did. For all those people that ended up spending money on the game, they should have done that. But the fact of the matter is they should have never released this game when they did. It should have never been released in the state that it was. But they did that, knowing full well the game was not ready. Knowing full well they were going to just reap the benefits as much as possible and make the consumer pay the price, right? Make us gaming enthusiasts pay the price, which is not acceptable in my book. Then they want to come out with the DLC now for half the price of the main game. Well, in my opinion, what they should be doing right here is giving this content to the community for supporting the game in the first place, even though it was a hot piece of trash to begin with. So it's not like they've made good money off this game. This game has sold well. They stuck by it. They turned it into something decent. But in my opinion, it's unacceptable what they did. You're right. You're right, Mithril. Hello Games, which also was not acceptable the way they released that game, but every single piece of content that has ever come out for No Man's Sky has always been a part of the base game. They've never charged anything extra for any content that's ever come out for that game, and there's been a ton of content. So I find it disgusting that not only did they say that, you know, this is the way, now the game will be able to be played the way it was always meant to be experienced and played, but they're not going to let previous gen players play the game, play the DLC. That's just the cherry on top. But ultimately, in my opinion, the absolutely disgusting nature of the way this game was released, hyped up and promoted, and then duped all these people into buying this game, you know, the least they could have done was given everybody this DLC. Again, I know this is not going to be a popular take. That's fine. You don't have to agree with me, but I'll stand by it. I think it's we're plagued in the industry right now with these AAA devs that want to keep doing this crap to us, and it won't stop, man. It's not going to stop happening until we quit buying into it. And I think it's just gross that they couldn't turn around and at least give the community something decent in return for sticking with the game and sticking with the company after such a nightmare release, which they should have never done. It's gross.